Good morning, children. We are successfully completed the chapter hydrocarbons, and we are going to start the continuation of thermodynamics. So, we'll start with a new term called heat. What do you mean by heat? We can define heat as it is the change in the internal energy of a system by transfer of heat from the surrounding to the system vice versa without expenditure of work. This exchange of energy, which is a result at temperature difference, is called heat. So we can change or we can exchange the energy in the system. This exchange of energy lead to a temperature difference in the system. This temperature difference is called heat. So let us consider bringing about the same change in temperature by transfer of heat through thermally conducting walls instead of adiabatic walls. So in adiabatic walls we know the heat will not transfer, but in the thermally conducting wall the heat will transfer. For example, we take water at temperature Ta in a container having thermally conducting walls. So we can see it is it is made up of copper and enclosed in a huge heat reservoir at temperature Tb. So the heat absorbed by the system water Q can be measured in the terms of temperature difference, that is Tb minus Ta. In this case, change in internal energy, that is delta U is equal to Q when no work is done at constant volume. So we know here is no work is done in the water, but the container which is made up of or thermally conducting is kept in a reservoir which having a certain temperature. So there is a temperature difference, that is delta U, change in internal energy. So we can, the change in internal energy is directly equal to the heat. Explanation of first law. So let us consider the general case in which change of state is brought up to both by doing work and by transfer of heat. So we'll take a condition that the change of a state is, we can change the state by either doing a work or transfer of heat. So as we know, if we want to change the solid to liquid, either there is a method, that is either we can apply or we can do any work on the system, or we can do, or we can transfer heat. These two methods we can applicable, and if we are doing the both cases, what will happen, we'll see. So we write the change in internal energy for these cases. So we know change in internal energy is represented by the letter U. So change, so delta U, that is Q plus W. Q means heat, transfer of heat, W means work done. For a given change in state, Q and W can vary depending on how the change is carried out. If we are changing the heat, Q will vary, or if we are applying the work, then W will vary. So according to that, the both terms will vary. However, Q plus W is equal to W is delta U will depend only on initial and final state. It will be independent of the way the change is carried out. We know delta U is a state function. It is not a path function. It will independ of the way change is carried out. So, if there is no transfer of energy as heat or as work done, in the case of isolated system, that is W equal to 0, Q equal to 0, then delta U also 0. So, if we are using an isolated system, that is no energy is transferring and no work is done, such a system, both energy and matter is not varying or transferring, such a system are known as isolated system. So that in that case delta U equal to 0. This is the explanation of first law. So the equation will be delta U is equal to Q plus W is mathematically statement of the first law of thermodynamics, which states that the energy of an isolated system is constant. So the first law of thermodynamics states that the energy of an isolated system is constant. Why it is constant? Because there is no heat transfer, there is no work done. So both will be 0. So delta U will be a constant. Such system is known as isolated system, and the energy of an isolated system remains the constant. It is commonly stated as the law of conservation of energy. This energy is similar to law of conservation energy, that is energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. For example, express the change in energy of system when no heat is absorbed by the system from the surroundings by work is done on the system. What type world does the system have? That will be isolated. These are the questions may ask regarding the first law of thermodynamics. So first case is the whole is adiabatic. Delta U equal to minus Q thermally conducting wall. Delta U is Q minus W closed system. So see, so the first question is no heat is absorbed by the system from the surroundings, but work is done on the system. What type of wall does the system have? We know in isolated system both work will not done and the heat will not transfer. So it will be 0. So it won't be isolated. So only heat is absorbing. So the system will be adiabatic. The next question is no work is done on the system but Q amount of heat is taken out from the system and given to the surroundings. What type of wall does the system have? If heat transfer occurring, that will be thermally conducting wall. If heat is transferring, that is thermally conducting wall. And amount of work done by the system and Q amount of the system, that will be closed system. No work done, no heat transfer, then it will be closed system. What are the applications of first law? For understanding pressure, volume, work, let us consider these are the applications. So let us consider a cylinder which contains 1 mole of an ideal gas fitted with a frictionless piston. Total volume of the gas is and pressure of the gas inside is P. If external pressure is PEX, which is greater than P, piston is moved toward till the pressure inside becomes equal to PEX. Let this change be achieved in a single step, and the final step during this compression, suppose piston moves a distance I and its cross-sectional area of the piston is A, then volume change is I. So the equation will be delta V is equal to Vf minus V final minus V initial. We know that pressure is equal to force by area. Therefore, force on the piston, that is PEX, that is pressure on the piston is PEX, it's given, and A, if W is the work done on the system by movement of the piston, W is equal to force into displacement. So this is the equation to identify this. So the negative sign of this expression is required to obtain the conventional sign for W, which will be positive. It indicates that in case of compression, work is done on the system will be negative, and negative multiplied by negative will be positive. Hence the sign obtained for the work will be positive. If the pressure is not constant at every stage of compression but changes in number of final steps, work done on the gas will be summed over all the steps and will be equal to minus delta P and V. We have to consider the pressure and volume in each case. If the pressure is not constant but changes during the process, such that is always infinitesimally greater than the pressure of the gas. If pressure increases, the volume decreases. These all things we know. So this will be the work done, equation for the work done. We'll see the relation of work to internal pressure. Work in adiabatic given by the formula integral Vi to Vf Px dV. So instead of Pex, P external, we can put this one. Since dP into dV is very small, we can avoid dP into dV, and we can generally write like this. Now the pressure of the gas is expressed in terms of its volume through an ideal gas equation. We know P is equal to nRT by V. So instead of this P, we can apply our ideal gas equation nRT by V, and dV is there, so include that also. So the equation, if we open this integral value, we'll get minus nRT log Vf minus Vi. This will be our equation, minus 2.303 nRT log Vf by Vi.